everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. For the record, today is Tuesday, January 5, and the time is 7 o'clock. First item of business, of course, our consideration of minutes of our Tuesday, December 1 regular meeting. The chair here motions that the minutes have been correctly recorded and stand approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to be approved without corrections. Discussion. There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
According to the minutes are approved. We have had no requests for citizen comments tonight, so we'll jump right into our item of information. For the purposes of the board's information, the agenda that went to you in your package has been amended. As everybody has an amended agenda that's passed out tonight, we've got a couple of items of business to add on to the first thing we want to do tonight is to recognize one of the town's employees, Sergeant Brooks Heath, who was involved in the life-saving event on November 25 out on Highway 64. And also, we'd like to recognize the participation of the Roxborough Fire Chief, Kenneth Terrain, in that, who's with us. I think Chief Terrain was the first one, and others came and saved everybody. And we've got a nice little certificate of recognition here for you. If you fellows would come forward, we'll get a picture and get you in the press and all that stuff. Come on up here.
Hey, Tim.
We have two documents here. Hank, you stay with us a little bit. That you don't follow instructions. We have two certificates here we'd like to present to you. The first, of course, is the Life Saving Award. Is presented to Town of Nashville Police Officer Brooks Heath for police actions taken in the line of duty, which both placed his life and saved the life of another from out of danger on November 25. Thank you very much, sir. And Chief, we have one also for your certificate of appreciation for the National Fire Department, which acknowledges that Fire Chief Kenneth Terrain is being presented this award in appreciation for outstanding performance for assisting in the motor collision on 64 November 25. We thank you for being in our neighborhood on that day.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure whoever was in the vehicle thanks you too.
Well, the sergeant here, he was the first one there.
Yeah.
He was doing the job before I got there. I just followed his lead.
Good for you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks to them over down from Roxborough.
Yes, sir.
No one up there yet?
Not yet. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is a consideration of a resolution 2016-01 authorizing the amendment of the Town of Nashville policy for reimbursement of travel expenses. Our travel expense plan that you will see under the blue tab is followed by a document from 1996 that's quite dated that tells us what we're doing for travel reimbursement expenses, and we have tried to update that according to the General Services Administration Index, so that we'll have a solid policy to go with. And this, of course, does not in any way affect the money spent in registration fees. That already includes meals and other accommodations. And the a budgeted allowance by the General Service Administration is $11 for breakfast, 12 for lunch, and 23 for supper. So that's the numbers that would change on this 1996 document, even if we allow that to happen. But once we pass this resolution, that will go away. Does the chair hear a motion we approve this resolution?
So made.
It's been moved and seconded we approve the resolution concerning the reimbursement for travel expenses. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Okay, that is done. Okay, consideration of resolution 2016-02 authorizing the Nashville Fire Department to enter into an agreement to purchase 22 Scott self-contained breathing apparatus units from Municipal Services Incorporated in the amount of $168,781.21 and to donate the existing self-contained breathing apparatus units to the Nash Community College Public Safety Program. The large amount is actually covered in a grant of $150,000, which the budgeted amount that we had of $83,000 in the budget looked like magic money, was anticipating the reception of the grant. So we didn't come up with extra money. So we've got that in hand, and our contribution would be $18,227, and we will take the old units and send them over to Nash Community College, which is not a problem because we're transferring property government to government, so there's not an issue. Does the chair hear a motion to approve this consideration?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we need to keep any backup units?
I'm not sure whether this will give us adequate backup units or whether what we've used have been used. I've heard what we got pretty well used up. Is the chief here? Could he tell us about that? Chief, would you come and tell us this, please?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, as far as the question, there's no need for backup units. What we have is we have 22 units. There's a breathing apparatus for every seated position on every fire truck. So if we do have something out of service with the one truck, we can take and move one around that is in a case in a compartment. So we don't need any backup units. Plus, the difference between these old ones and the new ones would be such that we wouldn't want to intermingle them because of the different features that they offer.
What is the life expectancy of one of these units?
Probably 15 years. If you recall, during the budget retreat, we discussed that within the next 2 years we would have to replace these units. And what we did is we applied for the grant with the idea that if we didn't get it this year, we would reapply next year and hope that we would get it, because the older the units are, the better your chances are of being awarded the grant. Fortunately, we were awarded the grant, not what we had requested, but a significant amount to get what we need.
So we can expect 15 years out of these?
I would say what we have now is pushing 15 years, yes. The cylinders they only have a lifespan of 15 years. And with the operation of our department, we could probably see 15 years. I've seen them in 8 or 10 years have to be replaced, but that's a lot harder use than what we have here in Nashville.
So the 22 units are adequate to,
Yes, they
for
are.
our guys and plenty of backup?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Just from experience, as far as the breathing apparatus is concerned, 22 units, like he says, every seat on the apparatus will be equipped with one. And God forbid that this town would ever have a fire to the effect that all 22 units would have to come off the trucks at one time.
Yes, that's a good point.
If we got a fire that strong, we're going to have probably 2 or 3 other stations assisting us. So for us to use all 22 of them at the same time continuously, that hope, God forbid, that would ever happen here in Nashville.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thank
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I don't believe that resolution received a motion.
So,
Did it?
So moved.
Okay. And there was never a second, but there is one now. Okay. Now is there further discussion? Okay. There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, it is done. You'll take care of that, Mr. Manager. Okay, item number E is consideration of resolution 2016-03, authorize the town of Nashville, the town council to transfer ownership of the town's 1948 American LaFrance fire truck to the Nashville Fire District Auxiliary. And you read the explanation of the letter in there. They wish to rehab the thing. It's presently under a shelter out at the town's lot, and it's in a dilapidated condition. And they want to rebuild it for training purposes and this sort of thing. Does the chair hear a motion to approve this consideration?
So made.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consideration. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Accordingly, it is transferred. And there'll be a title fee in that we'll have to pay, or somebody will have to pay as we go forward with it. I understand the title's lost on it. We got to, okay, good. Okay, item number F is consideration of request to replace the Town of Nashville Police Department service weapons. And if you look over under the pink tab, you will see that the situation that's being developed is that all the agencies around us are recalibrating to 40 caliber, and we've got 45 caliber pieces. And our chief has worked an arrangement to get all the things we have, the Glock 45s and the Smith & Wesson 45s, transferred and traded out with the new Glock 40 caliber guns through Craig's Firearms, which is a law enforcement outfit working out of Lexington, at an almost even thing. There's also a buyback option involved in this, which is also covered in law to let officers who are carrying their pieces buy those at the trade-in rate, and we'll give these people, the trade-in people, either guns or cash for that. Also, there's a problem with ammo. The 45 caliber ammo we've got, I understand the vendor will swap back in 40 caliber, not round for round, but whatever the money price is, because 45 costs a little more than 40 caliber. So, and then we'll be consistent with all the rest of the people in the neighborhood. And when I read this request, I was sort of interested that, like you were talking about the 22-man fire, this, if we get into a gunfight and have to start swapping ammo, I think we need to fall back and regroup because that's a dangerous stuff. But anyway, it's good to have everything interchangeable. It's always good. Okay, the chair here motion to approve this resolution.
So made.
I got one question. Sorry.
Who got to get a second first?
Second.
Second. Okay, is there any discussion?
Yeah. Just a quick question about, and I know he just brought up the point about the ammo, but is the holsters for the 45 calibers equivalent to the 40 calibers, or is there any different in accessory items that have to be done for the guns?
Thank you, sir. The current utility belt that we wear with the ammo pouches and the holsters should not be a problem with the new weapons.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Okay, further discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Accordingly, it is done. Okay, item G is a consideration of the 2015-2016 budget amendments, which deals with two items. One, we're increasing items in the police department to cover the donation expense that we received over Christmas for contributions for toy purchases to the tune of $3,050. And the other is to move money into the fire department accounts from gas, oils, and tires to training in the amount of $3,000. Let's handle these individually. First of all, let's handle the budget amendment for the police department. Does the chair hear a motion we approve this amendment?
So made.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded we approve that. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay, the second amendment deals with the fire department of reducing their gas, tires, and oil account by $3,000 to accomplish some training activity. And I understand that this figure comes from the fact that gasoline prices dropped and gave us a little extra money we had not anticipated this year to handle some necessary training. The chair here motion we approve this amendment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. That is done. Okay, item number H are appointments to various boards for the following year. We've been requested to have Willie Morris be reappointed to the Board of Adjustment for a term of 4 years. Al Edwards was reappointed to a 4-year term by the Nash County as an ETJ member. Al is also on our planning board, and the county's appointed him to our Board of Adjustment, which is legal. He can serve on both boards. And we've also have to accept the movement of Michael Coleman, who would no longer be on the planning board as he's now been elected to the town council. Could we handle this all in one collective motion, and the chair will entertain such?
So made. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the consideration of the Board of Adjustments appointments. Is there any discussion?
Mr. House, now, do we still have any vacancies left open on the planning board?
Got that right there.
Mr. Coleman's seat's still open.
Mr. Coleman's seat is still open. so
Yeah.
we
Yes, sir. I
need
still need
else
somebody.
to come on
Yeah.
board.
If you have suggestions, let Brian know and we'll work with it. Okay. Okay, further discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay, all done. Now, two other items that's been added. Item I, which is an amended item, is a consideration of Resolution 2016-04, the resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Nashville authorizing a contract and any change orders within the budget amount with Newcon for the project known as the Town's Walkable Community Project. And let me read the resolution. This is Resolution 2016-04, resolution of the Town Council with the Town of Nashville authorizing a contract and any change orders within the budget amount with Newcon, that's a construction company who's got the bid on this thing, for the project known as the Town's Walkable Community Project, number 75011. Whereas the Town of Nashville has entered into an agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the construction of a sidewalk along Eastern Avenue, and whereas the North Carolina Department of Transportation has programmed funding in the current WBS 75011 and 3604.3.07. That's two separate pools of money there. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Nashville through the adoption of this resolution, is hereby authorized the execution of the contract with Newcon in the amount of $268,106.68 and any change orders within the budget amount for the sidewalk along Eastern Avenue. And if approved, it will be adopted this 5th day of January with appropriate signatures and attestations. Does the chair hear a motion we approve the resolution?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded we approve the resolution. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Since we've been down this road so many times, how much of the 268,000 is grant money?
Of the 268, $100,000 of that is the town money. The other 168,000, the rest of the change is theirs.
Okay, so 100,000 is what the town has to,
Correct,
okay.
correct. And we resolved to do that long ago.
Right, I just wanted a review.
Yeah, that's that one. Okay, do we approve that? No, we do not. All in favor of the approving the resolution indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. It is approved. Okay, the second item is related to the same one, which is another part of that same project. It's a resolution resolution number 2016-05, resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Nashville authorizing a contract and any change orders within the budget amount with Newcon for the project known as the Town's Walkable Community Project, C5545. Whereas the Town of Nashville has entered into an agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the construction of a sidewalk along Alston Street, Washington Street, and Eastern Avenue, and whereas the North Carolina Department of Transportation has programmed funding in the current WBS 51015.1.1 and WBS 51015.3.1. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Nashville through the adoption of this resolution is hereby authorized the execution of the contract with Newcon in the amount of $189,164.81 and any change orders within the budget amount for the sidewalk along Alston Street, Washington Street, and Eastern Avenue. We adopted this 5th day of January 2016. Does the chair hear a motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution. Is there any discussion?
Once again, how much of that is grant money?
$37,000. Grant.
Yeah,
Well, it'll be 189 minus 37.
so 37 is the town.
37
part.
is the town's part. Okay, all in favor of the resolution indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. All done.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
This being pushed back so many times and have to be rebid and stuff, I don't anticipate any construction now to start with the weather until, what, February, March?
We're going to be having that conversation with NewCon. This was a hurdle we needed to get through, and the DOT worked with us to get here tonight. What we're going to be doing this next month is going over the admin stuff, getting a timeline, that thing. But we have 180 days from whenever the weather breaks, which is usually March.
180 days from when?
March.
March.
The middle of the year.
Okay, yeah, we're in the middle of the year. Okay. Okay, we're down to the manager's report. Mr. Raper?
Thank you, Mayor Street. Thank you to those attending tonight. I'd like to take this time to recap a few of the projects that the town has done throughout the month of December and a few things coming up in the month of January. Wade Spruill was hired by the police department during the month of December and has come on board. 24 children were taken to Walmart to participate in the Cops and Kids Christmas program, and an additional 41 children were given bags and toys for the Christmas holiday. The library hosted 4 kids' story times and the annual Kids Christmas Story Time, followed by a visit from Santa Claus. Residents were assisted on December the 6th and December the 20th for enrollment in the Affordable Care Act. Collections were also made at the library to go towards the Humane Society. Our fire department responded to 139 incidents throughout the month of December. Loose leaf pickup is on schedule, and holiday garbage routes were completed on schedule. Parks and Recreation held an advisory board meeting on December the 28th. Our planning department is researching ordinance amendments pertaining to civil penalties for junk cars. The finance department has received our audit from fiscal year 2015 and is in the process of reviewing the report. The Carolinas Gateway Partnership, of which we align for economic development purposes, has elected a new president and CEO, Norris Tolson. Lou Bunch and I will be meeting tomorrow with the League of Municipalities regarding anticipated changes to our health insurance plan. And Human Resources has also begun a newsletter for town employees. The budget retreat for fiscal year 2017 will be held on February the 5th. Department heads have begun working diligently on implementing a performance-based budget for fiscal year 2017 that will provide accountability, transparency, and results for the residents of Nashville. And as of today, I can confirm through a telephone conversation with State Representative Jeff Collins that we will be receiving at least $30,000 in funding towards the town's walkable community project passed tonight. I look forward to working with each of you in the new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any questions for our manager? Okay. Okay, council comments. Mr. Taylor?
Well, I'm glad to hear the last thing you said was going to get another $30,000 we hadn't anticipated.
And we anticipate getting the full amount.
But, you know,
we got one more call to make.
One more call to make.
Yep.
I'm glad, unless something happens that I'm not aware of, that we had a safe holiday season. We didn't have any catastrophes that other neighborhoods may have experienced. So we went into the holiday season hopefully with safety in our minds, and we came out unscathed, I guess. And I have a question. I guess I should have asked it during the regular meeting, but I didn't know where to put it in. Myself, as well as another person in my neighborhood, called me last night, or confronted me last night. Did we have any scheduling problems with our recycling program during the holiday? Ms. Hinton, I understand you had to pull your recycles back one time also, and I did. We went for an extended period of time in my neighborhood where none of the recycles was picked up, but mine was picked up today, and I hope yours was too.
It was picked up
It was picked up today.
in a timely manner,
In a timely manner, you're right. So,
as opposed to
but
twilight.
I was hoping, but I was hoping that we didn't have a reoccurrence of what we had past 2 weeks of not having any recycling picked up or not. So I thought I had something for you to look into, Mr. Manager, but apparently not. It took care of itself.
I think part of that had to do with the way the schedule worked out for Christmas, that we changed one route, and all the medium we used to communicate with people didn't get to everybody.
Didn't
Yeah.
get it. But during the holiday season, everybody had an extra amount of
Sure did.
trash on the side and recycle stuff.
There must have been
And-
5 tons of stuff on my street.
Oh, yeah, and for us to put it out there and then had to pull it back and then push it back
Right.
again, but I think today resolved all the problems. I think we're back on schedule now, so
Yeah, we are.
everything is back in line.
Okay.
It might be a good idea to have the waste management representative that we work with to come to visit us so that we can have a one-on-one to renew our interest in serving our customers.
It would be
Because they were
good.
really let down during Christmas.
Yeah, it would be good just to
Yeah, to let them know that
just to
we're
let them
interested.
know we're interested.
Let them
Yeah.
know that we did miss it,
Right.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing I wanted to bring up. I assured one of the town citizens last night that I would make myself a mental note to bring it up, see who else had experienced the same problem. So today I think it got resolved, at least in my neighborhood anyway.
Yeah. Could you arrange that, Hank? Have somebody from Waste Management come and talk with us?
Yes, Mayor Street. I also have a scheduled appointment with a representative from Waste Industries for Thursday, so I'll
Okay.
express the concerns of council at that meeting.
Okay.
Oh, and before I forget, Ms. Bunch, I want to thank you. In the last memo that you sent out, maybe not the last one, but next to the last memo you sent us out a calendar of all the town's agenda and meetings, because that last Wednesday and first Tuesday gets kind of confusing sometimes. And when you sent all the notices out, I promise you, I sit right there after I got it and put every one of them on my schedule so I wouldn't get them all mixed up. So thank you very much. First time that's ever been done, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I do the same thing. Okay, Mr. Taylor?
Mayor, to continue on with the topic of conversation, I just noticed where the city of Rocky Mount has just changed their pickup with waste industries because they were doing theirs twice a month. And they are changing their schedule because it's 52 weeks in the year and they were not getting lined up right when they were doing just 2 times a month. And they also sent out or sending out notification to all citizens of town with a date of when and where, like we had in the past
For recycling?
for recycling.
Yeah.
And also, they did it with their garbage just to remind their customers
Yeah.
that when they would be coming.
Yeah, last year we had a schedule, those they gave out in town hall.
Right.
I guess we're gonna do that again this year, aren't
We just received the schedule from Waste Industries today.
we? Okay. Well, get a stack of them, lay them out, because I need one.
I think we had that flyer, those dates inserted in the national graphic last year.
We did, we're put in the graphic, yeah.
Put it in the graphic,
Yeah.
that way everybody.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up since
Yeah.
it's fresh on my mind that
Good.
we're not
Thank-
the ones
thank you. Yeah.
experiencing that.
Yeah, I've got
Next thing,
Go ahead.
I'd like to thank the citizens for coming to these meetings and being active and seeing what goes on in town government and encouraging us in how to do our jobs better for them, since it is for the citizens that we do this.
It's who we work for.
Got it?
Thank you, sir. Ms. Hinton?
I'd like to say in a time when first responders are taking a lot of heat all over the country, I'm glad we had the opportunity to recognize Brooks, Heath, and Kenneth Terrain for what they did. And very often, things like that go unnoticed and unrecognized, and we as a town council will certainly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the citizens of our town do.
Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, a couple of things to bring up. First, I wanted to just take the opportunity to thank, some of the department heads and Ms. Bunch and people for welcoming me onto the board and helping me get accommodated and to learning some of the ropes and things I need to know and getting me signed up for some stuff or whatever. I'm very happy to, that I'm going to be able to do the essentials of municipal government training in Hickory this Friday and Saturday, and so that's going to be a really good opportunity to go and learn some more, things that, that'd be good. I also want to, bring to your attention, I attended the Parks and Rec Committee last Monday, had a committee meeting, and that went really well. And we just tell the citizens we got a lot of important things coming up this year, a lot of great things I think our town is going to be having, and so you can check our website out for some of those things. I believe that they're adding those to the schedule to start marketing some of those things or activities that we have going on, so just be aware of those. And then I also wanted to announce, and I've told a couple of you about this, I have a meeting with Jocelyn Hardy tomorrow, who's the state representative of North Carolina JCs, and I'm looking forward to possibly starting a Nashville chapter of the JCs here coming up in the next couple of months, and so real excited about that. I have a lot of individuals that have already expressed a lot of interest in having something like that. So if anybody who's in between the ages of 21 and 40 who would like to get involved and like to be part of the leadership of that or the initial push of that, then let me know. I'd be more than glad to talk to you about what we plan on doing. We look to doing this is going to be a community service related things that we'll be doing, and so I'm really looking forward to doing some community activities through the JCs.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate what you do for us.
One more thing.
Yes.
Main Street. Brian, did you look into the business of the trailers and commercial vehicles parked in residential sections of town?
Yes, ma'am. In the incident that we were talking about, Mr. Bayshore and I looked into it, and we got some resolution out of that.
I noticed the trailer was moved, but on North Collins Street, there is also a commercial vehicle that's parked on the street, and people have to, jockey around it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think we need to look into that. Commercial vehicles on residential streets
Yep.
that make it difficult for traffic.
So you're working on something to bring to us.
No, we got ordinances on the books
They
that
already
can
on-
handle
okay.
that, and Mr. Bayshore and I are looking into that
Good.
and handling them case by
Good.
case.
Good. Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I'd particularly like to thank Chief Terrain coming all the way down from Roxborough. We appreciate your being here, appreciate your interest, and thanks for taking part in something very unfortunate, but thank you very much. We're happy you were there. And everybody else, thank you for coming. We're going to move into a closed session now to discuss some legal issues that's before us, and we will report out whenever we finish with that. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, but you can feel free the way of doing what you'd like to do. And the chair will entertain a motion now to go into closed session.
So made.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, we go into closed session. Is there any discussion? If there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Accordingly, we're at closed session. We'll meet in about 3 minutes in the room next door.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.